What's up and welcome to Mommy Needs a Break, because we need a break. This is a podcast for all new moms out there who, they don't have it together, but they're trying to get it together. I'm one of your hosts, Megan Thomas, at Meg Scoop, all over the internet. I'm sorry. Oh, my bad. Go ahead, girl. No, go do your thing.
I'm Marisa Johnson. She is Marisa J.
And yes, follow our podcast at MNAB Podcast all over your social media. And guess what, y'all? We got a special guest today.
Hi, everyone. I'm Daria Stakely. And
tell us about you, Daria. Something quick.
Oh, really quick. So I'm Daria Stakely, and I'm a mother of 4. Also a real estate agent here in Los Angeles.
And you forgot to say that you always slay because you're amazing. You look amazing. You look like you are together.
Thank you.
All right, mother of 4 business looking like this. I'm over here like, I just wanted to wash my armpits this morning. That's really like my goal for the day. You know what I'm saying? You out here making business moves. So congratulations to you.
Thank you.
We're going to talk to Daria more. But before that, what do we have?
Ain't No Shame. So Ain't No Shame is a segment where we have no shame. It's a no judge free zone, right? Okay. So we kind of just share something that others might look down upon, but you have no shame. So we start off with Ain't No Shame. Megan.
No, you started.
Am I starting? Mm-hmm. Okay. Ain't no shame in putting mismatched socks on your kids and sending them off to daycare. So,
like how mismatched? Like polka dot stripes or different colors?
The other day, we hadn't done laundry. Halo's clothes were coming down to the bare, what she gonna put on today? It's a Friday. And she literally had a gray sock and a pink sock. And I thought hey, it's in the same family, right?
Right.
And
wait, was her outfit gray and pink?
No. And the kids at daycare, as soon as they get in the daycare, they have to take off their shoes. So I was just like, okay, bye, Halo. Bye. Bye, Miss Jamie. So right, it's cool.
But she's little, so nobody's gonna
it's not a big deal. I do it still.
I do too, but I make sure they be matching my outfit though. That's the only thing. Yeah. Okay, so ain't no shame in actually I am ashamed of this, but I am ashamed of this. I let my son eat some lint. It was a big piece of lint too. Y'all, he's been crawling and he's getting mobile and I have to constantly check where stuff is because I think I have his little play area baby proofed.
Yeah.
And I clean it, but sometimes there's a dust bunny gets there. So I was doing laundry. You know how you take the little lint thing out? I guess some of the lint, the lint out of the dryer.
Yeah, right.
So some of it came, I don't know how, but some of it came out in a strip away from the big group of lint, right? So the next thing you know, I didn't know that happened. I just threw the lint away in the trash. Next thing you know, he's next to me. And I look and he's got the lint hanging out of his mouth. And I was like, Maverick. So I'm I lunged at him to grab it. And he turns his head because now he knows I'm always trying to get him away from stuff. And he ate half of it. And I was just like, man.
Oh, wow.
Hey.
It's all good.
He's still kicking,
he's
right?
alive. Right. I'm ashamed of it. But you know what? Whatever. I tried. Okay, I tried. His laundry is clean.
We're not judging. We're not judging.
I appreciate it. What about you, Daria? You have 4 kids, so there's got to be some ain't no shame.
So I got 2 ain't no shame. So the first one is ain't no shame in letting your kid eat cake in the morning for breakfast.
That's a great breakfast.
Yeah, my 6-year-old loves sweets, and oftentimes she comes in Mommy, can I have cake for breakfast? I'm just get it, get whatever you want. As long as you ain't hungry, go right ahead. So, hey, it is what it is. Ain't no shame in letting your kid dress themselves, because a lot of times my girls want to wear what they want to wear. Sometimes they're not matching. Sometimes their shoes don't match their shirt. Sometimes their hair ain't combed, and we roll it. And sometimes people are looking, wow, their mama's put together, but why do you let, your child come out like that? I had this one lady actually approach me.
What?
She was like, oh, you look nice. And she was looking at the kids. And I'm like, girl, I'll let my kids do them.
Right.
They want to wear what they want to wear, let them do it. So ain't no shame in that for me.
You know what's funny to piggyback off that? My mom had 5 kids, and she always prided herself on making sure everything was put together because she was a young mom.
On her or
on us? Well, her too. Okay. She's always put together.
Yeah.
Right,
your mom's
right. But because she had us so young, she always wanted to make sure all of us were head toe, like do not go outside
Wow.
in house shoes, pajamas, like because she didn't want people again to like look at her like, oh, you're young, you got all these kids and they just run.
Looking.
So I mean, when you said that, I
good.
was like, I wonder why she like felt like that.
Well, my mom did the same for me and
Yeah.
us coming up, and I didn't want to put it's so much pressure. I think because my kids are very creative and they like to do them. You know, a tutu, a shirt, you know,
Right.
green shoes. One of them likes to wear her Wonder Woman shoes all the time. So you know, like she got on red and blue Wonder Woman shoes with a purple dress. You know, and it's just like, do you? Let's go. Because otherwise, I'm spending too much time arguing with her about not wearing it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, yeah.
No, you're such a good mommy. That's good.
Yeah, that is
I
good.
feel like I'm not, but you know what? So you have
know.
like parents who like they make sure their kids are well put together, and then there's like the kids who grow up from the parents who are well put together, and they're still put together, and then they let their kids do whatever. I feel like that's what I am. A kid that was my parents let me do whatever, which is why
like look,
I don't be put together half the time. My clothes, I'll be like, look, this is cool enough. Okay, these Toms they ain't got holes in them. I'm wearing these today. You know what I'm saying? That's what, so Daria, I'm just letting you know that's gonna happen to your daughters. Okay, they're just gonna be like, this is cool. I'm good with it. You know.
Look, I didn't say they don't look cute. They just don't be matching sometimes.
That's what I'm saying. I was always cute, but I wasn't matching like at all.
Yeah.
I'm still.
I mean, you match now.
Barely, okay?
Girl.
Barely.
You look good to me.
Thank you. Y'all so sweet. Thank you.
Right.
All right, you guys, it's time for mommy tips. Now, today we're gonna talk about some tips that us as mommies have come up with, and it's about feeding tips. So my baby's 7 months. I will say he's just now on his journey of eating solid food. So, what I learned is when I'm feeding him baby food, I have to give him something else. Because then he won't eat. He'll stop eating because he's like, I want to hold the spoon. I want to feed myself, but he doesn't know how yet. So I have now incorporated an extra spoon into our feeding time. And I noticed if I give him a spoon in one hand, I can like feed him with the other spoon and because he just wants to just play and go like this. And so now I'm like, all I had to do was give you another spoon. And then,
that's it.
and then in addition to that, they've got these new things now that are like, mesh feeders, or they're like basically a pacifier with a bunch of holes in it, and you can stick food in there. You can stick like fresh fruits and vegetables, so that way you don't have to chop it up real small. They just like suck it out. So he uses that too, and like he really thinks he's feeding himself. So the combination of the 2 spoons and the mesh feeders really helps feeding time go so much easier.
That's actually really smart.
Yeah.
Little things I'm picking up along the way.
Yeah.
Huh.
What you got?
Halo is 19 months now, and we weaned her off the bottle 12 months ago. I mean, not 12 months ago, when she was at 12 months. And when we would drive in the car, all we used to have to do was like give her a bottle, and she was good. She would fall asleep. And now it's been like, when we get in the car, she's like holding on to the side of the door. Like she does not want to get in the car seat. She screams from daycare to home.
Wait, was this always like this, or was this recently?
No, when she had the bottle, she was good. She had something to eat. So I recently just bought these like little puff snacks. So I have to like literally make her a bag of like snacks, enough to keep her fed from wherever we're going. So like, yeah. And she's cool. Otherwise, more, a piece, screaming if she doesn't have snacks in the car. So I just recently found this like little tub of organic, like it's like broccoli or I think there's like a strawberry. There's different flavors, little puff snacks. Right. I didn't know about them. Sounds super basic, but it's like it keeps her quiet in the car.
Ooh, snacks, puff snacks.
Puff snacks, organic puffs. That's what they say. I don't know the brand.
But. Okay.
My kids used to eat those. Well, my kids are a little bit older now, but back then, I think I didn't really have too much eating issues with them. But now I am with my younger daughter. She's 6. And she loves sweets. That's the one that loves that cake in the morning. And I use more of a reward system. So, like if you eat this, I'll give you that kind of thing. And that works for us, but it's an everyday struggle. You know what I mean? And kind of make sure they're eating what they should be eating versus what they shouldn't be eating. But then it's just like, hey, when you get hungry enough, you're going to eat up all that cake, and all it's going to be left is some string beans, and you're going to have to eat them string beans.
Right. You know what? I always wonder that, like, how do you keep kids from being picky? But I guess they're just going to, like, want what they want. But, I'm, like, trying to figure that out because, look, I grew up with a Southern military father. It wasn't you didn't want to eat it, you were still going to eat it because there was nothing. It was either eat or go to bed.
Wait, did you have to like sit at the table?
Yes, girl. If I didn't finish my plate, that's probably why I'm fat now. Thanks, Dad. All right, because I had to sit at the table until I finished my plate. I'm like, I didn't put this stuff on my plate to begin with. You did, and I don't even like it. But I feel like for my baby, I'm like, okay, what do I do to make sure he's not a picky eater? I guess I can't really do much, but I think what I'm gonna try to do is like incorporate him into making the food, because at least I feel like maybe he'll like, oh, here, throw the strawberries into this smoothie. Yeah. You know, push the button. Okay, you made it. Now drink it. You know.
Yeah, Halo knows smoothie time.
Smoothie
time. Smoothie time. And so she knows like smoothie time, and the blender's gonna go off, and she's gonna like dance.
That's funny.
Well, you know what? Sometimes I've made 4 different meals for all our kids.
Are you serious?
Yes, I've done that before. Just because, you know, my son might want a steak, you know, the other 2 might want a hamburger, the other one might want spaghetti, and I'll make it for them.
You're a great mom.
I
wish my baby would.
It's not easy, but I think to give them the option. And if they eat enough of the same stuff, when they get older, they're going to be tired of eating it. You know what I mean? So it's like, then maybe they'll switch up. I mean, I don't know. I don't have the rules. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, you're a great mom. And I wish I had that. Girl, I wish I had that. I really am literally like, look, this is what we got to eat tonight, Mav. You're welcome to eat this, or you're welcome to make something else yourself.
Mav, you want to make something?
I know. You're 2 years old. You better figure it out, brother. What you going to make for yourself?
But that doesn't happen all the time, though, Megan. Not all the time. But
you're such a good mom.
Thank you.
You're such a great mom. But see, I probably need to do that. Okay, I'm learning. I'm learning to do it. I'm learning.
Okay, so since we're on a quick, you're on a break with us, now it's time to scroll through those timelines and see what's happening. Megan, what's on your timeline this week?
Okay, so this was like before, but I wanted to bring it back up because I feel like it's something we just should talk about. So a few weeks ago, there was a story about people on Twitter. This guy put this poll up on Twitter and was like, do you shave your legs when you're in the shower? I mean, do you wash your legs when you're in the shower? Yes or no? 13% of people said no. So I'm like, wait, why would you not wash your legs in the shower? Like, what are you doing?
Right.
You know, and then next thing you know, all these people were replying and they were like, oh, I put no because, you know, I figure I put soap on the top half. It runs to the bottom half. I'm good. And then there were people that were saying things like, you know, like, they were like staunchly defending the fact that they did not wash their legs in the shower. They were like, why would I waste time doing that? Like, clearly, my legs were covered today, so they're not dirty. Like, what? People were saying, I'm sitting here like, this does not logically make sense. Now, you can imagine what ethnicity some of these people were. I'm going to say all of them, because I really went through all of the people. Right. I was like, yeah. So our fairer skinned brothers and sisters out there, I'll leave it like that, said they were the ones that were like, no, I mean, why would you do that? And so on the Ellen show, Ellen asked Taylor Swift, she said, Taylor, you know, this is what's going on Twitter. Do you wash your legs in the shower? And Taylor was like, oh yeah, when I shave my legs, because isn't like shaving cream like soap? And I was just serious? Like, yes, she was dead serious. I was just like, and I know, and like, I could see the hesitation in her face afterwards, like, ooh, I just admitted to like not washing my legs unless I'm shaving them. Why?
Look,
do you guys wash your legs?
Yes, I wash my legs. I mean, I don't know why you would like get here and stop.
There's like dead skin. Like, why would you not get the dead skin off? It's so weird to me it's like I would never have even posted the question, do you wash your legs? Because to me, it's like,
do you wash your butt? The outside of it?
Yes,
like, do you like stop here and then just like stop your thighs?
And it was people that were saying like, oh yeah, no, I just wash my face and underarm every day. I was like, wait, you got a whole butt, vagina, or penis situation. You ain't washing that? That's part of the whole bath. That's half the whole bath. Like is the bottom part. You just doing face and armpits?
The whole bath.
Well, I have had not a friend, but an acquaintance in the past that I know that didn't always wash their feet.
What?
That probably is a better question though than the legs. So I can see
like
that
underneath, like the dirty, like get under
toes. And when you think of that, it's like your feet are dirty too.
Right. Yes, they touch. Yes.
But I think it may be the same thought process that the water is just dripping down and their feet are standing in the shower. That maybe they think it's being cleaned by all the water that's underneath or something. I don't know. It's weird.
That is.
Yeah. I'm so like, And this doesn't, I mean, okay, so the story time. So last week we were out at like this barbecue fest. I wasn't eating the barbecue. And I had to use a porta potty. And I hate porta potties.
Yeah.
But it didn't have like the little napkin. My legs were sore from the workout. So I sat down. I was like, dang it. But in my head, like I always know, I always take a shower before I get in the bed because I always think like germs in the bed. Like I hate that. And Terell was like playing with me and like threw me on the bed. Like I had no clothes on.
And you freaked out.
And I was like, babe, the bed is soiled now. I touched the porta potty. I kid you not. Like I was still thinking about earlier that day when my butt touched the porta potty.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So it was like, I can't even imagine like not cleaning something and then getting in my bed where I sleep. It just would creep me out.
That's so crazy. I'm still like,
nasty.
I'm like, how far down do you wash? So, because your vagina or your penis is like technically attached to your legs.
Right.
Like, so how far down on your legs are you not
I feel
washing?
like some guys don't even think their penis is dirty because it's like on the outside and it's like, it's not dirty. Just shake it off.
Oh, no.
Like, go
It's
pee.
a whole lot of nastiness out here. Okay. So sniff your partner's legs. That's all I'm saying. Sniff their legs tonight. What else is on your timeline?
So what's on mine? Okay, so my guilty pleasure, I don't even want to say this on camera, but I watched the Kardashians. I watched like 62 seasons.
You've seen them all?
What? Yes.
Oh my gosh.
I do it when I'm by myself in the dark. Like no one knows I'm watching it. I'm not like asking anyone to join me. I just watch it. So I was watching the episode and Chloe went to go get like a psychic reading from a woman in Bali, a blind woman in Bali.
Oh wow.
And she was on point. Like, knew Tristan was a cheater, said you're, like, super insecure, like, you need to, like, make a decision, you're wrestling with yourself. This lady was blind, so she hadn't watched the show. Like, she knew everything.
Wow.
And so I was sitting like, dang, I want to do that. But then I was like, wait, I'm a Christian. Is that voodoo? Like, can I go do that? Is that okay as a Christian to go get your, like, palm read or, like, spiritual, like, advice?
I feel like, I will say this, as a Christian woman myself, I will say, I know growing up, it was always like, you don't do that because that's messing with demonic forces.
Right.
But here's the thing about it. I think whatever your intentions are is more important because at the end of the day, your faith is, if you're a Christian, then you believe your faith lies with who? With God, right?
Right.
So then it doesn't matter what anybody else says because at the end of the day, like, your faith is in God. So if you're going to go do that, make sure you take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
Because you don't know, and it's kind of scary because if you're looking for an answer, you need to go to God for it.
Right.
Be open.
That's true.
Be open though,
That's
because
true.
again, you don't know where God is going to give you an answer.
Yeah.
And I know that's like, I know my parents are like, what? Because they're like Southern Baptists and they're like, no. But I'm just telling you, the wino on the corner can give you a word.
That's true.
You just got to be open, but don't sit here and think that, oh, if this person tells me this is end all be all. What they're saying is absolutely true. It could be, it couldn't be. If your faith is in God, then your spirit will let you know if what they're saying is right to you or if it's like coming from left field.
Preach, Megan. I actually also saw on Heather Lindsay's timeline today, she was talking about burning sage.
Oh, yeah.
And she was like, well, if you want your house to smell good, yeah, go ahead and burn it. But if you think you're going to cast out the demons, you better go call out Jesus.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, so it's like, it's not, you got to, again, intentions. What are your intentions?
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
makes sense.
I think, to piggyback off of what Megan said, I think that, you got to seek, the Holy Spirit for direction. And I'm not against it, you know what I mean? But you want to really just go to God and say, hey, this is what I need to hear from you. I'm seeking you for this and whatever you're praying, or if that means you're going to fast so that God can reveal to you whatever it is that you're seeking, then I think, you should probably go that route versus doing it. But I mean, if you want to do it, go for it.
I was intrigued.
Yeah. I'm just saying, Chloe should have knew when she took that man. From
Girl.
She should have known.
Yeah.
Okay. And then she should have known also. Wait, was this before she had the baby? This
was after. Baby
okay, well, so clearly, look, the blind lady could have just heard some people talking about Tristan Thompson.
True. I feel like people in Bali though are so disconnected. I feel like they live on $100 like per year salary.
I'm saying she didn't need, like, for example, it's
I see what you're saying.
She didn't need that lady to tell her that he was a cheater.
No, I think
she knew
but they
was.
didn't ask any questions. They just gave the hand. Like,
see, some people have that gift, and it's like technically it's a prophetic gift if it comes from God, but also the devil got gifts to give people. So that's why you got to take it. You got to seek God and say, God, show me the answer, and make sure you take. Like I use the motto, take some, leave some. So I use that with everybody that I come in contact with, because again, I don't know when God's gonna give me a word. So when somebody gives me some advice, some of it I take, some of it I leave, because I might not need all of it, you know? So take some, leave some. But girl, leave him, okay? Just leave him. I don't know why she didn't know. Like, he's been a cheater forever.
That's a whole other show.
And I remember I said, when they first got together, I was like, oh, she's fine. How she get him? Because she's a Kardashian. And then I was like, never mind. I'm glad.
I never was a fan of him.
I thought he was cute.
I didn't.
And then I heard him talk, and then I was like, never mind.
Right, it didn't match up.
I never heard him talk.
Yeah,
so.
it was too much. You could tell, like, when someone gets on a show, they've never been on, like, a reality show, and they're just doing too much. That's being extra, like, oh my gosh, Chris, you look amazing, or, you know, hey mom, like it's just too much. Like, they're doing too much.
Extra. I saw somebody said something about her. They were like, the reason why she got all these issues, because she got black women problems because she's dating black men. I was like, stop.
I'm convinced.
That's not okay, because there are some good black men out here. We all have good black men.
I texted my sister the other day, like, Chloe and Kim are full-blown black women.
Right.
Like, just the whole transformation, like, their demeanor, like, their mannerisms, like, I'm like, oh,
that's so funny. And
they're,
they got black women booties, everything. Black women
Kim,
lips.
Kim is freeing slaves. Like,
you know. Stop.
I'm just saying.
Stop.
She right. She's doing her thing.
I can't even hate on them.
I'm not. I can't. I watched them in the dark.
I can't hate on. I mean, like, yeah, so she had a sex tape, and what else can you say about her? Like, she's made millions and billions.
How many of
put
us
her entire family on?
That's another topic.
Entire family. You put your sister is a billionaire. Like, okay, you know what? Do your sex tape, girl. Whatever. You know, I can't even hate on you.
I'm not judging. I don't know what's out there, so
we all have a past. Okay, maybe not a sex tape past, but we got past.
But hey.
Okay. All right, so let's so Daria, you've been with us, you know, you've been doing this podcast with us. So I just have a couple of questions for you, because when I first met you, I just was like, oh, she's got everything together. And then Marisa told me you have 4 kids and you're a real estate agent and you and your husband have a barbershop. And I was like, wait, I have 1 baby.
Right.
And be looking frazzled as all get out.
Every time I see her.
Like, how do you do it?
Oh my God. Well, I will say this, and I live by this. And then I can do all things through Christ Jesus who strengthens me.
Yes.
And I think for me, being in the business that I'm in and just my personality, I mean, I have to always be as together as I possibly can. And ultimately, I love to make sure I look good. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's something that it's just a part of my personality. Like, when I look good, I feel good. Yeah. And so for me, I, make sure, and let me tell you, my gear, it's on a budget. I ain't walking around with no Louboutins or nothing like that. I got Fashion Nova, Fashion Trend, the little stores on the corner, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I just make sure that I keep myself up as much as possible. Like I said, growing up, my mom always made sure we were together. Right. Head to toe, hair always combed. So, like, it's just a part of me that it's just a part of my personality. Like, I got to make sure my hair is combed. Got to make sure, my makeup is decent because I'm not big on makeup, like knowing what to put on. Mm-hmm. But I do my best, and I'm, people are like, wow, you look so great. I'm like, oh, thank you, and I put it on in the car with my fingers, but. Get it. I mean, I just try to continue to make sure that I'm looking my best so that I can feel my best to be my best.
That's good.
Hey.
That's just the reality.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what does a typical day look like for you?
Oh my God, typical day. So my house is a complete circus in the morning. Kids running around, right. You got 2 up, 2 still asleep, 2 you got to literally drag out of the bed. Hey. I'm up. That's like 6 a.m., trying to like speak prosperity over my day. my affirmations, getting the kids up, getting them ready for school, zooming them down to school. We are always late, like almost every day. The kids are like, I like pull up and then I'm like, jump out, y'all gotta run. And it's funny because we hit the corner and I'm like, girls, get ready to unbuckle, because you guys gonna have to jump out, you know. And then the guy at the gate, he's like waiting on us. I kid you not. It's like he waits a few minutes because he knows we're gonna be late and my kids are coming in running. And he's like, and he'll be like, you know, waving at me like, all right, Miss Stakely. I'm like, all right, Mr. Brown, thank you. Bye, girls. Have a good day, you know. And then my husband, he normally takes the boys, so I get to at least take 2 and he takes 2.
Okay.
So that helps me most of the time. And then from there, I'm on my, you know, my real estate journey, showing houses, appointments, listing appointments, previewing properties for clients, looking up properties, whatever my day is that day. That's usually what I'm doing. And then in between there, you know, taking calls, make sure my kids got in their Ubers to get home, my high school kids. I have 2 boys that are in high school, 9th and 10th grade, and then I have 2 elementary school, kindergarten and 1st grade. So it's crazy.
Yeah, I know.
It's crazy.
Like, Jesus. So wait, then you do as much as you can until they get off of school, and then it's like back to mommy mode?
Right. So literally, well, no. Sometimes I'm taking calls in the car. So if a client calls me, I'm in the car, I tell the girls, you know, hey, you guys got to be quiet. You know, mommy has a business call. And the girls are like, okay, you know, and I take my business call. And sometimes, you know, I miss calls. And after I get them situated, get them home, give you homework, get baths, cook dinner, then maybe around 9:30, 10 o'clock, I can respond to clients via email. But I mean, it's a balance. It's not easy, but I feel like my life wouldn't be my life if it wasn't a challenge.
Right.
And I accept it and I've embraced my life, my journey, and I love it. And
That's
so
good.
I think for me, it's just a part of my life, and it's kind of like exciting to see if I'm gonna be able to get it all done.
Yeah.
You know, it's
that's
like,
a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah, because it's a
That's
lot.
Great way to look at it.
It's a lot for sure.
That's, you know what? I'm glad you said that, because as a new mom, I'm still learning like the balance.
Yeah.
You know, we're 7 months in. I don't know. I don't have the balance of like work life and baby life.
Right.
And I feel like, because until I had him, I was always about my career, always about just like what I needed to do to advance my career. And now it's like, oh, overnight. It's like now something is more important than my career, but it's also almost like an identity change, like a whole identity shift, because now I'm like, wait a minute, I can't really, where do I prioritize, you know, this work piece during my day? If he needs this, like, should I just let him cry for a little bit because he's okay? You know, he's like, you know, so I'm still trying to figure out what that balance looks like. Yeah.
And you know what? I think for me, because before I had my kids, you know, I was independent. So after I had my girls, I had them back to back. They're 13 months apart. I took off time. I took off time from work, and my husband was like really like, you know, just taking care of us. And I felt like I completely lost my identity.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know who I was. And I was itching to get back into the business to become this new Daria. Like, who is she going to be now after 2 kids? And once my kids were like 2 years old, I was able to put them in daycare and get back in it. And I feel like, you know, it wasn't the easiest transition. But I was like, well, I'm going to do this. I want to have my own identity. I want to work. I want to have my career. And I'm going to be a mom, and I'm going to be a kick-ass mom regardless of what it is. You know what I mean? Regardless of the tough times, or, you know, it's not easy. Right. But I mean, I thank God ultimately he makes it happen for me. Like, and I say that like not, you know, cliche-ish or anything. It's like real life. Like, my life is a faith walk, and everything that we've done has been all by the grace of God. And I know that, you know, it's him. Like, you know, I ask him, sometimes it's like days where I'm in like tears, like, how am I going to get through this day? I have so many things that I need to do, and I still have to get the kids, and I still have to put a smile on my face, even when I, you know, got cramps, I got a headache, I got in a bad, my client don't want to listen to me, you know what I mean? And kids got, you know, programs at school. Boys got basketball games, girls have gymnastics, and I still have to be a wife. Yeah. And I still have to have a relationship with my husband, and I'm still a daughter, and I'm still a sister. Yeah. And I'm so many things, but I'm just grateful to be able to be so many things because I get to choose and I get to be a mom. I get to be a wife. I get to be a businesswoman. And so for me, in a nutshell, I mean, I'm just grateful, for it. And I'm grateful to even have what I have and to be able to do it and do it like effortlessly.
I have a question about your relationship and like balancing your relationship and the kids. Do you feel like sometimes you put more into the kids or you put more into the relationship, or like how did you find out what that balance looked like between your husband and your kids?
Well, I will say this. My husband and I, we've created our time. You have to make time for each other. We've been married, it's 8 years. We've been together 9 years. And we make time for each other. And, I'm still like really in love with my husband.
That's good.
And sometimes people, they're just like, wow, you guys always look so happy. It's like, because we are. But a lot of that still does come from my prayer life. Like, I am a praying woman.
Yes.
And I know that that's really what has gotten me through everything in my life. So, we have our times where it's like, even if we go to the park, even if we go get yogurt together, if it's 20 minutes, you know what I mean? It's just me and him. That's what we do, and the kids, the good thing is I have older kids, so they can watch my younger kids for a few minutes.
Oh, yes.
Even though we don't make them watch them often, there is that time that we spend. And sometimes, there's times that he's working a lot, I'm working a lot, and we don't really get as much time as we may, but we just try to make up for it, The main thing is we have so many goals that we're trying to accomplish for our children and for us. And so we are in agreement with what it is that we're trying to accomplish. So we don't really beat each other up if the time isn't there, but we just try to make up for it.
That's good.
That's nice.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. And sorry if you guys hear my baby screaming. This is what real mom life is. Okay, he out there. He out there. Marissa's husband's watching him. Lord, he's somebody's watching him. Okay, that's what. He's not out there by himself. So one thing I do want to ask you is, what do you struggle with when you look at your life?
What do I struggle with? Wow. I think the main thing is me being like hanging out with my friends or doing stuff for me. That's my biggest struggle because I'm always doing stuff for everybody else that I really don't put a lot of time into myself. Even though I make sure I look good, I mean, like real time for myself, like relaxation, and just like, going out with my friends, just kind of like being without a kid or without a husband or without a client.
Right.
Because that's my life, That's one of the things that I struggle with. And then some days, I have my days where it's extremely overwhelming for me with the kids. And, kids, sometimes the kids, they have extracurricular activities and I don't get enough sleep and I'm tired. But somehow I just push through. So I would say my biggest struggle is just taking time for myself.
That's important.
Yeah. And lately I've been, like, what, Daria, you have to take time for yourself because if you don't take care of you, who's going to take care of them?
Yeah.
But
the famous saying.
Still and all, I'm like, gotta get it done. Because like I like feed off of me making sure that everything that I put my hands to is prospering. And it may not be the best thing.
Yeah.
But my focus is like, okay, if I'm doing this, if I commit to something, it's going to be successful.
That's good.
And that's just the drive, I think, and the passion that I have for my life and just everything that I'm doing. And it's just like, it's going to be successful. I don't care. What I got to do is going to get done.
Yes.
You are awesome.
So, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
So before we get out of here, is there one thing you want to tell people about mothering? One piece of advice.
Don't compare your kids to other people's kids. I just let my kids be them, and I let other people's kids be their kids. Because sometimes as moms, we often see other kids, and maybe that kid is excelling in something in school, and maybe your kid isn't, or maybe that kid, is really good at swimming and your kid's not, or just the behavioral, just don't compare your kid. Your kids are your kids. Let them be who they are, and don't focus on other people's kids. Because sometimes people, and even moms that are be like, well, this is my kid, this is how I do this, and you could be like, well, I'm gonna try to do it like her. And it's like, no, do it like you, and let your kids be who they are.
Okay, you're great.
I know, right? Where can everybody find you on social media if they want to?
And your businesses.
Oh yeah, and your businesses.
So, my husband and I have a salon business. It's a barber shop. It's Stakely's Barber Salon, which is in the Daria Center, off of Centinela and La Tierra. And that's at Stakely's Barber Salon on Instagram. And then my Instagram is d.stakely_real estate. I am a real estate agent. Been doing it for 12 years full time, and I am with Core Realty.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, you're great. I'm over here like just sucking up it like a sponge. I was like, yes, I'm gonna get there one of these days.
Thank you,
Lord. We gonna get there.
I do not have it all together though. I don't.
I don't think any mom does, but you make it look good, girl.
Well, thank you.
That's important.
Thank you.
So before we get out of here, this segment is called I'm Fine, for moms who basically, how are you doing? I'm fine, but they're not. So it's just like an inspiration, something to get you through the day. For me, I have this journal that I'm writing in every night. It's a gratitude journal.
Oh, wow.
My therapist told me I need to reflect on my day. And write in it and then go back and read it. So there was a quote in there last night. It said, "This is a wonderful day I've never seen before," by Maya Angelou. And then when I read it, it just gave me a smile, a peace. Like, look, like you made it through your day. Reflect on it. It might have not been perfect.
Right.
Write down what you didn't like, what you want to do better the next day, and then try again. So it was like this day, you'll never get this day back. So
that is a really good way to look at it.
Yeah.
I like it. I feel better. You guys just made me feel better today.
We'll never get this day back, this moment.
We won't. I got to wash my armpits today. Then I got the word from these two. I'm ready to go conquer the world. I'm ready to have another baby. I'm just lying. Not anytime soon.
You gonna get on your feet. Megan, you pregnant?
I know.
Megan's
pregnant. Oh, Lord. Don't tell my fiance that. He'd be like, wait, what? You said you was pregnant?
Tag him.
Like, no, not yet. All right. So, y'all, it's been so great taking a break with you. We're so glad you took a break with us. Make sure you follow us every week. We post a new podcast. I am Megan Thomas at Meg Scoop, like scoop of ice cream, because I love ice cream, but I don't need to eat it. All over your internet and social media. And make sure you follow our podcast at MNAB. That's Mommy Needs a Break. So MNAB podcast.
And I'm Marisa Johnson. She is Marisa J.
And Daria, where can we find you one last time?
d.stakely_real estate on Instagram.
All right. Well, great. We'll see you guys next time right here on Mommy Needs a Break. Bye.